What's going on, guys? This is Empty Box. This is iRacing Global Challenge from Mid-Ohio, driving the CTS-V Cadillac in the GT class, Kia Optimas in the GTS class. They're a little bit slower. We'll probably end up going through them one time here in this 25-minute race. Standing starts going into tricky turn 1 at Mid-Ohio. In the real world, they actually do rolling starts on the backstretch this corner, so yeah. So let's begin.
Green, green, green.
It's nice and easy.
Car on your left.
The record,
Go right. Go left. Still there. You're on the right. 3 wide. Car on your left.
Did I not say something about this?
That's what adds up. Are you serious?
What was that, Kevin? Okay, just need to settle in. This car is very tricky to drive for sure, especially around this circuit with all the elevation changes and everything, but fortunately you can really use the torque around here. Now this is part of the opening night's little sub-series, impromptu league I guess I could call it, presented by Sim Garage and Apex Racing. Not that I'm plugging them or anything like that. Which basically they're putting up some prizes to try and get more people on the grid. First race of the night, first race of the week here. So it's really an interesting concept because it's kind of like a league, but at the same time it's still an iRacing series, just like any other series, arrive and drive. So pretty fun little concept. I do like that.
So you guys think you're going to go out and win it in the first lap, first turn, huh?
I go there, Michael?
See if we can try and at least break away from this guy or repeat Mossport. I mean, Canadian Tires Motorsports Park. That said, I think I'd be happy with just keeping it on the track today because this car is not easy around here. Of course, that's why it's fun, right? Cadillac really is one of those cars that going faster is highly encouraged. Yeah, that seems like a very obvious thing to say, but you can really tell when the car is going slower than it wants to go. It really begs you to drive faster and faster and faster because it actually gets easier the faster you go. Until you reach a certain point, that is. But it's definitely not easy, and that's probably why they don't let anyone but the Corvette drivers into it. That could just be a coincidence that they happen to be the best road racers in North America that are available to GM, maybe. I think that's probably it. Got to really watch it over that rise there. Make sure you don't have any weight in the car whatsoever pointing to the left over that little crest, otherwise you are done. little bit wider than I'd like to. Still early. Still very early. In case if you're wondering why I'm not using 6th gear at all, basically, it's because the gearing is actually locked. Per the real world rules in the Pirelli World Challenge, you can only run, I think you're actually restricted to whatever the street car is using, but obviously you can change out the gearbox to a, you know, racing sequential, as this car obviously has. So pretty interesting little thing there. For example, in the Kia, I don't think you'll ever end up using 6th gear, if I remember correctly, because it just is a pooch, basically. Or something like that. You only get so many different gear ratios that you can put into the box, and they have to be carefully chosen, because once you select them, you can't deselect them at the beginning of the season. The Pirelli World Challenge, though, is definitely an interesting series. They got a buttload of cars down at Circuit of the Americas for the race this weekend with the V8 supercars. Fun little series. I highly suggest you check them out. They do live stream all the races, I do believe, and they do upload the real races post-race, full race on YouTube. Definitely worth watching. Sure that wheel is as straight as an arrow over that crest. Okay, looks like we got about a 4-second gap. No need to get crazy, no need to push when we don't need to push. Tire management isn't hugely critical, but if you do slide around a lot, it definitely will overheat the tires, which is where primarily in iRacing you have to worry about grip loss from just simply getting the tires too hot. So, and try and limit the drift car shenanigans. Just using third through here to try and use that torque as well as keep the revs down and try not to induce too terribly much wheel spin. When you get that corner right, oh yeah! This is definitely a hugely fun circuit, for sure. Just so many elevation changes, so many blind corners. You know, for as short of a circuit as it is, it really is an action-packed driver's circuit. I think I put the left front on that little bump there. Looks like we're about 10 minutes into the race. Looking good. No need to get hasty. Although the race is far from over, especially in this car. This car, like I mentioned multiple times, is not Not easy to drive at all. Especially around a place with as many elevation changes as we have here. Taking a real conservative line through the carousel there.
That car's a lap down.
You're blinking a little bit, Lee. Just go ahead and take this corner out. Never mind. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The Kias are pretty fast through the corners, especially on a track like here, especially with that giant elevation change in the middle of that corner right there. So you could probably actually go through there a little bit faster than I can. Of course, down the straightaways, no match at all. Looks like someone was off. Looks like we pulled out more time over the car behind us.
Tell me where to pass you.
And I'm taking a conservative line through the carousel because really, at this point, I just want to make sure I keep the car on the track. You know, we got good pace, we got good lead. You know, should someone catch up with me, should I make a mistake, at least I can have a car that I can fight back with, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for you to come.
Next time I'll let you know what I'm doing. So you don't lose it.
Although I think we got a pretty dang good launch off of that corner.
You got a slow car on the right.
I do not want to see a yellow flag through this section ever. Oh my god. You just don't know what's over the top of that crest. You just can't. It's just like, oh god.
Car's a lap down.
Hopefully this guy recognizes.
Car on your left. Clear.
Well, a little bit more heart rate lifting than hoped for, but through it cleanly, no problems, no issues. Of course, you always want people to just move over and get clear off the track, of course, you know. It's not a realistic expectation to have, though, that's for sure. I do gotta say, though, that now that everything's come up to temperature and I've gotten a little bit more laps under my belt here, because, of course, this is
Not a problem.
the very beginning of the week here at Mid-Ohio for this series, the car's starting to feel really good. I don't feel like I'm really all that fast, but just because a couple of the guys in the Cadillac can really wheel this car around here. But we are in the top split if this race did split, I know that much, because I recognize a couple of the names in the Kia, so we have that going for us. And a pretty handy 9-second lead. Well, this is where things get more intense. Coming up on the Kia traffic. Really having to play with the throttle to keep the car planted. Not going to have anywhere to go until the front stretch.
Left side.
Or I guess he's just going to completely miss the corner, say nothing. Thank you. Give him a thanks, even though I'm not sure really what was going on there, or if that's just an accident, or... Let's not worry about it.
Could I have a mic check, please?
We got you.
Loud and clear.
Thanks.
8 minutes remaining. It's going to be roughly 5 laps or so, maybe 6. My
Keep
math
in
is,
mind, Matt, got you down in?
math is correct, which very well might not be. Kind of a little bit distracted here. Again, we're going to catch a Kia. Thank you. Although I'm pretty sure he said go to the right. And then he went to the right. I'm guessing he said I'm going to the right, and I just didn't hear that. Okay, Kia guy, what you doing?
Car right. Clear on the right.
Scaring the crap out of me, that's what you're doing. And we're taking things really safely. I know it ain't maybe the most thrilling thing around, but such is racing, right?
Sorry, Carl, I was losing it there, trying to get around.
Looks like we got an even larger gap now.
Didn't mean for that to...
It's nice and easy, no need to over rev on the downshifts. And when you're going through here really fast, this corner should actually be one giant corner rather than 2 individual corners. Anytime you want, you can get this puppy sideways with ease. That's why it's a hoot. Gonna move the brake bias forward a click there. Get a little bit more stability under braking, hopefully. Six minutes. No, off track. Oh well, don't matter. I'll be pleased if I can escape with only one.
Go ahead, David.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Go, Michael. I'll come back.
Woo-wee!
Thank you, Sebastian.
Looks like traffic isn't going to be too terribly much of an issue. The faster Kias are still, 14 seconds up the road. It's definitely a track that doesn't necessarily suit the Cadillac. Plus, it is a short lap.
Hold on, buddy. I'll give you a run. There you go.
Swing out, clip that curb.
That car's a lap down.
Attempt to thread the needle, almost put it in the gravel. Make another silly mistake. Get a speck of dirt on my windshield right. Mother of God. Really, iRacing? Really? Did you... Going up the inside.
Car on your left. Stay on the right, clear.
Thank you.
That car's a lap down.
And I really need to disable my spotter because he's really just quite annoying on road course racing.
I'll give you a run.
Now go ahead.
Car right.
Thank you.
Clear on
I
the
really
right.
have time to burn, and
You got a slow car on the right.
anything that puts me in a more difficult pass than I'd like really doesn't sound like fun right now. Just want easiest possible thing.
Car stopped ahead. Car stopped ahead.
Got some idiot brake checking and crossing over my nose all the time, and how Cadillac takes me out.
Okay. Looks like we got a mess going on up ahead. Stay away from that guy, he's damaged. Oh my God. My blood pressure just went up about 600 notches here, guys.
Yeah, there's going to be about 3 protests on that. You guys are ridiculous.
I got a car in front of me that's got damage. It's a Cadillac here in mid-Ohio, so it's tricky to drive. You guys got a right car number. He's all over the place. He's spinning out. Oh, thank God. White flag. Okay. One more lap. One more lap.
I'm staying outside. I'm staying outside.
That car's a lap down.
Is he a lap down in class because he's in 7th? The second place car is pretty much right up the road, and there's a bunch of carnage. So that guy might have just profited like none other. Don't worry about me, Rodrigo. I got time to burn.
I'll follow you.
I just don't want to take an unnecessary risk or anything, or, you know, heck, we still got 11 seconds. We got 3 corners left. No problem. Nice, easy race here today. Thank God, because this season here in this series has not been kind to me. Canadian Tires Motorsports Park, nothing but a complete battle for 25 minutes, very stress-inducing. Laguna Seca, my most embarrassing race I've ever done.
You won.
And finally,
Win. Well done.
finally winning it in turn 1.
Nice win, Matt.
Finally.
Jeez, I made so many changes on my set. I made
That's-
the car
that's that.
undrivable.
Next week we'll go to Sonoma, I believe, or Infineon, aka Sears Point. So yeah, hopefully I'll
going on the first lap there, guys.
just a second here.
But
Hopefully I'll be back with more of this race. If you guys enjoy it, let me know. I definitely enjoy doing this series because it is a fun concept, and hopefully, excuse me, you'll come out and join us in the first race of the week in the opening night series, because it is a fun concept. You don't need to register or anything. Just show up, arrive, and drive, and Kevin and his guys will take care of the rest. So that's that. Bye.